Shadows asleep amidst the trees. Bats all are swaying in the breeze. But when the soul lies down, she's wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths. For your dolly Polly sleep has flown. Don't dare let her tremble alone, for the wheelchair, heartless cold, paid in coin of gold. He comes, he'll go, leave naught behind but heartache and woe. Deep, deep woe. It's all silent for the night. Cows turned in as daylight dies. But when the soul light down, she's wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths. My dear Dolly.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Haunted Connection show. So we're bringing this to you from the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley, Leicester, and we are sponsored by Sims Vintage Antiques in Wootton Warren near Stratford. So big welcome to everyone. Now tonight we should have had Denise Mott on as our guest talking about healing, and unfortunately she can't make it tonight, so we're going to reschedule that. So I thought that me and Neil decided that we would still continue, and we would still continue the discussion on spiritual healing. So if you've got any thoughts, any experiences, any comments that you want to make, then please put them all in the comments below, and we will do our best to address them. And of course, I do have my I could say my assistant.
How many years? How many years have we been doing this, Jane?
Oh, we've been doing it a few years now. But my co-host,
and we still don't know what way to point.
You went that way. Yes. So
yeah, let's
we're talking about spiritual healing, aren't we? So
we are.
A lot of people won't know this, but you are actually a qualified Reiki master yourself, aren't you?
I'm not a master. I'm level 2. So I didn't do the master's course. So I'm level 2. I'm just below a master. Let me just put this comment up first. Voices in my head says, I love your streams. Thank you very much.
Thank you, yes.
And that's on YouTube. So yeah. I do Reiki. I've not done a lot of it for the last couple of years, I must admit, but Reiki is amazing. And
what got you into that then? What got you into Reiki, and why did you feel it was sort of the at the time the path that you should be on, and you actually did the level 1 and the level 2, didn't you?
Yeah, I was actually talking to a bloke where I used to work, and he says he does Reiki, and he says it's amazing because I've always been interested in this spiritual and natural healing type of thing, because I don't go to the doctors very often at all, because I don't really trust the doctors too much. So he said try Reiki, and I did it, and it's amazing. The feeling when you're being tuned into it is amazing, because that uses the universal energy to heal people. Let me put another comment up. This is from my mate Rick. Hello both. You look rested, Neil. That's because I didn't go work today.
Oh, yes. Oh, you've been poorly.
Sort of. And Rick is one of the chaps I work with. So yeah, I'm very rested, Rick. I didn't actually get out of bed till gone 11 o'clock.
Blimey.
Which is disgusting. So
That's
I
like,
obviously, so
I mean,
I obviously needed the sleep though, but I'm fine.
you're usually up at the like really early, aren't you? The crack of dawn and
Yeah,
stuff. As well.
yeah, yeah.
You must have needed that
Um,
sleep.
I just to Rick, I hope you cope without me. Because the amount of work I do. Anyway, swiftly moving on. So, what sort of healing do you do, Jane?
Well, I've done a lot of spiritual healing when I was sitting in circle, when I was a member of the Hinckley Spiritualist Church. For about 3 years, I did the healing there. We used to do it every week, and I used to really enjoy it. I used to enjoy being that sort of conduit for the spiritual healing energies to come through and help people. And for a long, long time, I did that. And I really do miss it. You know, I do miss it not doing it. But over the last, since we've been in lockdown last year, so I've very much been focusing on healing myself. I'm very much a believer in self-healing, and meditation. And I have been doing a lot more research and a lot more reading now. And there's a lot more science backing up the fact that we can heal our bodies ourselves. We have tremendous healing powers, but we just a lot of times just choose not to tune into it.
Do you think it's a shame that the medical profession doesn't use the natural spiritual healing as well, or is that coming into it now?
Yeah, I think it's I think if they could work hand in hand, I think it would make such a massive difference. But a lot of the time, the hospitals, you know, the doctors and that won't necessarily look at an alternative, you know, an alternative medicine as such, or alternative therapies. And I do think it's a shame, because while we're not using all these, while we're not using these capabilities and this thing that we have within our bodies, we are missing out an awful lot. You know, even some of the real more serious conditions, we can heal if we're in the right frame of mind and we've got the right faith within ourselves. We could heal so much more.
Yeah. So if anyone's watching, if you've ever had any Reiki done on yourself, or any sort of spiritual healing, tell us your experience. We'd love to hear. Rick did say we did miss me today.
Oh.
So we have some good chats, me and Rick.
You see, since I've been doing all this, I do genuinely believe that the Reiki healing that you use, and the energies that you use, and the spiritual healing that I've done, and the energies, I do think they're all the same energy, all the energy of the universe. It's all the same thing. And although we sort of call it different things, it's that same ability, tapping into that natural energy to heal our bodies.
Yep.
Because, sorry, I thought you were going to say something.
No, you carry on.
I was going to say that, you know, when they started doing DNA studies and that, and they looked at our DNA and what we're made of and stuff, there is so much, you know, we're not necessarily made of what is in our environment from our planet as such. We are made from stuff that, you know, stars are made of. And our DNA is more sort of compatible with what's out there than sort of what's here on the planet.
Fascinating. Let me just put this next comment up. This is from Voices in My Head. It's so true. The mind is more powerful than many folk think. Mind over matter in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mind is very powerful. Go on, Jane.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of reading while we've been in lockdown by people like Joe Dispenza, who talks about using your thoughts to heal yourself. There's Greg Braden. He will talk about the energy in your bodies and stuff. And there's a chap called Dwayne W. Dyer that talks a lot about, although he sort of calls it using the energies to get closer to God. When I was reading the books, I thought of God as being that universal energy.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things that they're talking about are just amazing. And you can see where people in the past could have considered these to be miracles.
Yeah. Well, even if you go back to Jesus' time, and Jesus, he healed people with a touch of his hands, didn't he? Supposedly.
Yeah, and in a few times, you know, in some of the, even in the modern day sciences, that they can sort of revert to Jesus, talking about Jesus, and it's this same universal energy that he was supposed to have used to heal people, to make the miracles.
Yeah, because I don't know that much about Jesus and the Bible, I admit it. But to me, what he did, or what he's supposed to have done, is just like Reiki. You put your hands, excuse me, over the person, and you heal them with that energy that comes through your head, through your body, and out through your hands. And that's what Reiki does. Yeah,
and that's the same sort of energy that I've been using with, you know, the spiritual healing in the church. And we talked about when we went to Debbie Gannon's place, and we had the our auras sort of taken with the photograph. And as what she used to do was do sort of the pictures and look at the pictures, and then she would talk you through it. And in mine, you could clearly see that I'd got lights coming out of my hands here, which are sort of chakras, which is where sort of the healing comes from. And I was just blown away by that, because although I sort of, you know, I was told that by other people that this is sort of how it works, and that's how it sort of happens, to actually see it for myself was just amazing. It just blew me away.
Yeah, let's put this next comment up. I think you can answer this one, James, from Voices in My Head again. They say, what do you think of shadow work to heal yourself from the past?
I think there's lots of different variations, and so many people have so many different theories, and it always tends to come back down to the same sort of thing. It's your true intention within yourself to heal yourself. So whatever sort of, however you get to that stage, with different people's theories and different people's sort of labels on all these different things, it's that true intention to heal yourself and to put yourself in a position where you're already healed, where the healing's already happened, and that's what you've got to sort of work towards.
It is fascinating. So we're talking about healing. What do you think about the herbal healing? Do you think there's a place for that as well? Because I see herbal medicines running alongside spiritual healing. You know, you go on.
I think the Chinese are very good at that, aren't they? And the Chinese are very good at working with bodies. They've had thousands of years of experiences with it, and they're in a position where they've got so much knowledge and everything behind them, where they can use a lot of herbal medicines. But also in China, there's these things, I mean, we've talked about this before, and Greg Braden's also talked about these as well, where in China they have these hospitals where there are no medicines. There's no medicines at all. And through the right diet, through the right sort of herbals and kitchen, and through using Tai Chi, and through using the spirit of the universe, if you like, they can heal people without medicines.
Do you think money comes into this with the hospitals then?
Oh, absolutely. I know, even through my treatment, you know, I've thought about a lot of things, and I've read lots of things, and you know, they always say, don't they, that the pharmaceutical companies only make customers, they don't make cures. So you know, there's a lot of money to be made from making people, I won't say making people sick, but when people are sick, you can sort of cure that, but then other things seem to sort of crop up, and then it's sort of you then on this sort of continual conveyor belt of medication after medication to counteract the previous medication and things like that. And I think we just need to be quite wary of that. I just think we need to be more mindful, because it's so easy to snowball into this place where one minute you think this is happening, but actually then you're on more medication and more medication. And at what point do you actually get better where you're on no medication at all? And I don't think that's with the pharmaceutical companies, I think once you're a customer, I think you do then tend to stay a customer for a long time.
Very diplomatically put there, Jane. I like conspiracy theories anyway, but I read somewhere, sun cream to stop you getting skin cancer. I've read that they do put stuff in there that can cause skin cancer.
Well, I think any sort of creams or chemicals, even with the best intention, any creams, chemicals, anything like that we put on our skin could potentially be harmful. And if we don't wash it off, if we don't, if we leave it on our skin for a long time, even foods that we eat, there's a lot of carcinogenic foods that we eat. There's a lot of foods that are just not good for us, but we still eat them all the same. And processed foods. And we don't help ourselves sometimes.
Basically, I believe the pharmaceutical companies don't want to heal you because you're a lost customer. But
no, and sometimes
that's very cynical.
You can take all the medication and you can take a lot of treatment, but the downside to that are that there's a lot of side effects, and from the side effects you then end up with more medication to counteract the side effects. So what you originally started out with isn't what you're being treated for in the long term.
Crazy. Anyway, let's get back to spiritual healing. Well, do you think it'd be a good idea for scientists to actually look into this spiritual healing to see if they can prove?
They're already looking into it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that there's already a lot of experiments and a lot of science that's happened where we can heal ourselves and our thoughts and how we are in our environment can make those changes. And we have lost so much over the centuries of how we can heal and how all these spiritual places are, and it's just such a shame that we've lost all that knowledge and information. There's loads of books on self-healing and how to help yourselves. I keep going back to Greg Braden because he's one of the ones who is a scientist, and I've read lots and lots of his books because everything that he says is completely backed up by science. It's not just whimsical theories. It's actually stuff that has actually been done by science, and we can actually heal ourselves. In one of his shows, he does for anybody that wants to learn more about stuff like this, Greg Braden's Missing Links. Watch that, Greg Braden's Missing Links, and that will show you so much more, and that about healing and about where we come from and who we are, and there's just so much to learn on all of that.
Okay, we've got a question from Rick. Rick says, what book would you recommend for a beginner?
As a beginner, as for what, healing?
Healing, yeah. Well, I think self-healing as well.
Yeah. That is such a wide. I would probably say have a look at have a look at, I'd probably say the authors rather than a specific book. So have a look at Joe Dispenza, because he talks about thoughts, healing thoughts, how you heal yourself. There's there's Greg Braden, and there's a chap called, a book I've not long read, Dwayne W. Dyer, how every solution has a every problem has a spiritual solution or something. And that was a really good book, and it really makes you think about a lot of things.
I personally think meditation is possibly the biggest thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
To help yourself.
Yeah.
So
I mean, when we were up at the centre and we were sort of fairly busy in that, most days I tried to meditate, but we've not, when we sort of had busy weeks and that, I'd perhaps just do it once, twice a week. Now I have actually gone back to meditating every day. Since I've been at home, I do meditate every day if I can. And also I get out in nature and I sort of do that, you know, I go for a walk out in nature. And that is so important, because having that connection with the land and heightening your vibration and everything like that is massive in healing.
Yeah, so meditation is really important. And like Jane says, have a walk in the fields or through the woods and just escape the pressures of life that's around today. Rick says, awesome, thank you. So that's good. And of course, will you be doing your meditation podcast as well sometime soon? Yeah,
we can. I think I had was it Sunday, my slot? Was it on a Sunday?
I think so. I think it was going to be Sundays.
Yeah, we can pick that up again. It's I think I'm just about ready to get back on that. Okay,
but we do have a lot coming up though, Jane.
Yes, that's it's going to be a busy time.
Like you keep saying to me, don't burn yourself out. So we've got some busy times ahead. Kathy says, I can't get back into meditating. Any hints and tips?
Yeah, just don't put too much pressure on yourself. For a start, don't think about necessarily meditating. Just think about sitting in your own energy, in the peace and quiet, where you can't be disturbed. Just peace and quiet for 10 minutes, whether it's in your bedroom or somewhere where you're going to be comfortable and warm and relaxed. And just take 10 minutes a day just for yourself and sit in your own energy and just start to calm your mind, and just start with that. And then when you've actually got that, you know, you'll then, once you've done it a few days, you'll find that you want to do more, and you want, because you to me, meditation is just finding that inner peace. And once you find it and once you do it, you almost get addicted to it, and you can't wait for your next one, and you can't, you know, you want to do it, because having that inner peace is such an amazing feeling that, you know, you will want to do it. And that's what I would say. Start off sitting in your own energy for just 10 minutes a day, and then work up to getting back into your meditations.
Do you think sounds make a difference? I always think the sounds of water or the sounds of birds and the wind blowing through the trees, that helps me. Would you recommend that, Jane?
Yeah, I think it depends what sort of thing you want to do. I find sometimes if the sun is coming through the window and I can sit in the sun, I find I don't need any music, and just sitting in that sunshine and meditating in just total quiet with that warmth on you is just enough for me. But other times, if I'm in the bedroom or in the front room or whatever, and I want to do a much longer meditation, then I will put the music on.
Okay, the next comment says, this is from Voices in My Head again. I literally agree with everything you both have said. Reading from the same page, thank you for sharing. Oh, thank you. That's a nice comment. We just say what we think. Some of the things that we've got coming up, people won't agree with. Jane knows what I'm on about. However, saying that, since we announced what we're doing, starting next. Would you believe it's next Thursday, Jane?
Yeah, it soon comes round, doesn't it?
Starting next Thursday. I've not had one bad comment, so I'm surprised.
Yeah.
That's nothing to do with healing or meditation. Wendy says, hi both. Lovely subject, and yes, sounds and guided meditation help me.
Yeah.
And Caroline says, hello. All right, okay then. Caroline's from Dagenham, Essex. Voices in my head said, hunting demons, right? I'm super interested. Yes, we are. Yeah, next Thursday, my colleague just there is going to summon Valak.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. We're going to try. You're going to try.
Yeah, I'm going to summon him anyway, whether he turns up or not. That's and then we're going to just see what happens.
If he don't come, he's boring, isn't he?
Yeah, but this is just challenging our own theories and our own thoughts and our own questions, really. And we just wanted to share that with other people. So
yeah. Obviously, we do tend to deviate from the normal topic. So if you've got questions about anything, we don't mind answering them. Voices in my head say, oh, wow, can't wait. I'll be there. Thank you. It's going to be good. So you do guided meditation, don't you, Jane?
Yeah, I do. What do you mean? I do it for other people?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
And I do find I have been thinking more and more about it, and I just feel that for me, from what I get out of it, the rewards I get out of it, if I could pass that on to other people, then I feel that that's one of the things I should do, because we don't spend enough time on ourselves. We don't spend enough time really just trying to have that peace and quiet. We've been completely consumed with televisions, phones, media, everything else, and we just don't have that. Most of us don't have that spiritual connection, and it would make such a difference. With mental health, if people just meditated for even just 10 minutes a day, it would reduce their anxiety, their stress. It would help with depression, just calming your mind and just relaxing your body, and it's just basically like rebooting your computer.
Yeah, I think I'm right. I think some schools have tried it with the children, haven't they, doing meditation?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and they've had massive benefits with the children doing it. And children can grow up to be calm and peaceful and to not be aggressive. Then it's going to make society so much better.
Yeah, so I agree. So keep the comments coming up. We've got no comments left at the minute. Like I say, we will answer if you've got any questions on any subject. We don't mind. We'll answer anything. Obviously, we are not experts at all. We just say what we think, what our opinions are, and what our experiences are.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What would you suggest to anyone who wants to get into spiritual healing?
If it's for yourself, then I would say just for a start, just practice, like we've said, sitting in your own energy just for 10 minutes and just practice calming your mind. And that's one of the hardest things to do. I know when I first started, it took me a couple of months, and now I can just do it straight away. But to just actually stop any thoughts coming in and stop any thoughts going out, so you've got this clear space and this peaceful space within your mind where you can just really focus on your inner self, and just stopping your thoughts coming in and out, and just having a peaceful, just having that peaceful time. That makes a massive difference. And that's really where you need to start. And then, of course, start looking at other, them people who I've already mentioned in the books, and just some of the exercises and the way you think. When I say exercises, I mean, you know, sort of the meditation and to how to work on yourself, your own well-being.
Yeah.
And then move up more to the healing, because there's lots of other things that come into it. Things like diet, you know, you've got to look at honouring your body, respecting your body, and doing the best you can for it. And you know, there's things like exercise and just getting out in nature and having that connection, and just trying to learn as much as you can how you can connect all this together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Kathy says, my son's school did meditation and yoga before their SATs. They all did very well.
Yeah.
That's perfect example, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then voices in my head said, I find if you treat your body well, it helps the mind to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the books that I was reading was by, I can't remember her name now. She's a Native American Indian, and she's a shaman, and she's talking about the healing and the sort of three different levels, and there's lots of different things that you can do to help yourself with the way you think and your inner thoughts, and not punishing yourself and things like that. And when you start to sort of look at books, have a look at the wider, you know, start to have a look at wider things as well, not just the normal stuff. Look outside the box, because that's what I do, and that's where I tend to find a lot of stuff that's very intriguing, very interesting, and it answers a lot of your questions once you start asking things.
Mm-hmm. So if people want to find out more about the books you read and everything, Jane, could they be able to contact you through Messenger and ask you what do you suggest to help them forward?
Well, there's I mean, there's certain sort of book titles. I mean, if you went into any of the bookshops, you know, as in like Amazon or World of Books, or, you know, there's lots of different sites. And if you put in things like meditation or mindfulness or spiritual well-being or any of those sort of things, and a lot of these books will come up. But read the books, have a look at the detail of the books before you buy any. But there's a lot of audio books as well. You know, I listen to a lot of audio books when I'm out walking, and it's amazing when you come across some sort of spiritual gem and you're out in the woods or somewhere like that, and you sit down and you can really open up to the world around you, and that's fantastic. And then that's when you sort of start seeing things like fairies and stuff. So that's another story.
I think it's fascinating. Okay, then I've heard this as well. Voice in my head says, I was told yoga is a demonic practice. Have you heard that too? And what are your thoughts? I have heard that said before. Have you heard that, Jane? And what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've heard that as well, and I've read a lot of stuff where some of the things that people think are demonic or witchcraft or stuff like that, and you just think, oh, what a load of old tosh. You know, the person who's spouting it is hardly in a place to sort of preach to everybody else. But no, I don't think yoga's demonic at all. I've been doing yoga as well recently, really because my body sort of got a bit stiff and everything else. I've been doing yoga to just stretch my body out, and I've just found it amazing in some times, you know, in some of the things I've done, because I've got up, you know, it's made me ache and be a bit sort of, joints are probably cracked and sort of things. But the next day I felt great.
It's made you feel a bit old.
Well, at the time when I'm doing it, you think, oh my God, I can't get that round there. But I didn't even know that bit was there to start with. But once you start, you know, and then the next day I feel great. And this, I don't know how anybody could class yoga as being demonic. It's basically breathing and exercising. How can that be demonic?
It's crazy, isn't it? Okay, Caroline says, I do meditation. It's amazing. And then she says, yoga is great too. So, yeah. I think, go on, Jane.
I was just going to say about the meditation that I was doing. And I just sort of go through roughly what happened in that meditation, because I felt I needed to unload a lot of baggage, if you like.
Yeah.
And I went on, I sort of got into my meditative state and I got my music going. And I just asked Spirit for help to get rid of this baggage. And I then found myself, once I'd gone up into the stars, if you like, I then found myself on a butterfly, and this butterfly actually flew me down onto this ship. And it was a wooden ship with sails and masts and everything. And I was the only person on this ship. But around me on the deck was lots of different trunks. And in these trunks were all the things that I needed to get rid of. You know, all these different things that I needed to unload, if you like. And what they told me to do was to pick up the chest and throw it overboard.
Yeah.
And I went round and I actually looked into the box and I seen what these things were in the chest. And I closed the chest and I lifted it up. Now, the detail and the different shapes and sizes, this is what always amazes me, because I didn't pre-think about this. I didn't sort of purposely think about a ship and stuff like that. And these chests were carved so beautifully in wood, and they were different shapes, different sizes. There was one made of leather. There was all sorts of different things. But the detail on them was amazing. And I didn't make that up. I didn't make those thoughts. I didn't generate that image. So I picked these chests up once I've looked in them, and I throw them overboard. And there was probably about 9 chests. Once I threw them overboard, I just sat on the boat and just thought how lovely it would be, you know, if this boat was a bit brighter. And the next thing I could see, that the boat had all been painted white inside. So all the deck and the inside of the deck were all white, and it just looked absolutely amazing. And then there was all pots of flowers on it, and vines and flowers, and the colours of the flowers. There was tulips and daffodils, and there was lots of lovely flowers all over, reds and purples and blues. And the deck was covered in tubs and barrels of flowers. And after that, then I went back, and that meditation took me about 40 minutes. And I went back, but when I came round, I was a bit sort of, you know, groggy, and because it takes you a while to come back out in meditation when you've been so deep. But after probably about half an hour of coming back round, I felt absolutely amazing, and the weight and everything had just been lifted. And the true power of meditation is just absolutely amazing when it happens right.
Blimey. Okay, comment from Kathy. Let's get that up. Kathy says, what do you think of past life meditation? I've done it a few times, but I'm on the fence. I can't work out if I'm interested in the points of history because I was there, or did I visit these times because I'm interested in them? Good comment.
Well, I've done past meditation and gone back to a previous life with Carey, and she's brilliant at doing that. And I did enjoy it at the time when I was doing it. My focus on at the minute is purely going forward. At the minute, I probably would not go back at the minute. I don't know if that makes sense. I wouldn't go back. My focus is purely on going forwards and healing as much as I can at the moment.
Okay. Okay, Voices in My Head says, do you happen to know why I have the feeling of being touched when I meditate? It happens every time. It breaks me out of meditation and it's frustrating. Any ideas?
Well, it could be that when you're so relaxed and if you've opened up so much that if there's any spirits around you, they could be coming in really close. You could try saying to them, you know, I'm going to do a meditation now. Please don't interact with me while I'm doing a meditation. If, you know, leave it till later on or whatever. But you could ask them to stand back and not interact while you're doing your meditation. If your spirit guides and things are helping you do the meditation, that's fair enough. But any outside, any spirit sort of outside of that, if they're coming close to you and touching you and disturbing you while you're in meditation, then just ask them to stand back and give you the respect and space and time to do this meditation for yourself.
Yeah, brilliant. Caroline says, oh wow, brilliant, Jane. I think that's about your story. Wendy says, sorry I'm so late. Don't worry, you can always catch up, Wendy, don't worry. Jane was late too. I
was.
Caroline says, I have that too, being touched when meditating as well. So
it could also be, I mean, it depends what you're asking in your meditation and what sort of answer, you know, if you're looking for any answers. And if you are asking for spirit to come close and heal you, it may be healing spirits coming forward and putting their hands on you to help you. You need, you need to have that understanding about what you're asking for, what you're working towards, or, you know, if you are healing, then the spirit world will come around you and try and heal you. So obviously don't ask them to stand back if you're asking for healing and they're coming forward to heal you. Having that touching and that, you know, that contact sort of experience, if it's distracting you to the point where you can't meditate, then that would be something that you need to sort of perhaps have a conversation with, you know, just stand back unless you're healing, that sort of thing. But if they are coming forward to heal you, then you do want them to come forward and touch you.
Okay. Then they say, I will try that. It makes my heart race. Thanks so much. That's good. Be interesting to let us know.
Yeah, let us know if it works.
What happens? Just messages anytime. Don't. So, anything else you want to say, Jane, about spiritual healing?
I would say to anybody, give it a go. It's the most natural process that we can do. And the spiritual, there's so much that we sort of still don't know about ourselves as a species. And even though we've been around 100,000, you know, hundreds of thousands of years, we have lost so much. And I would say to anybody to try and reconnect with that. It's never too late to reconnect and to have a go.
Definitely. Okay, another comment from Voices in My Head. I really don't mind. It doesn't scare me. It just wakes me up and my heart races. Yeah, just try what Jane says and see if that works, see if that helps. Caroline says, a psychic told me I've been healed, so must be that. That's Caroline says she did meditation and she was touched, so that could have been
they could be
healing spirit touching you to heal you.
Yeah, or again, it could be family coming around you. Even if you're just feeling anxious and worried or depressed, you know, when you're doing your meditation, healing doesn't necessarily have to be on a deep sort of physical level. It can just be that warmth, that love, and spirit, family, friends coming around you and giving you that hug and making you feel better that way.
Yeah. Voices in My Head says, I will. Thanks so much, Neil and Jane. Okay, I'm glad. Sounds like you've been able to help them, Jane, which is good.
Yeah, I hope so. Even if we just help one person, it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, of course it does. If you've got any more comments, anyone about anything, comment. So don't forget, on Monday nights, Jane and I do a podcast, a weekly podcast. And it's generally just talking about the paranormal. And we have a laugh as well, don't we, Jane?
We do.
And we play some great music because it's connected to Hinkley Community Radio, so we can play music. And my music's great, Jane, let's face it.
It certainly is a blast from the past. It's yeah, going back to the 70s. It's great.
I like rock music, so it's some good Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin normally, unless Julie, my wife, contacts me and asks for, what were they called? What were they called, Julie?
Maroon 5.
Maroon 5.
Oh yeah, yeah. But even music, they say that music is you know, food for the soul, don't they? And
Yeah,
how
they
many
do.
people have put on a record, it's their favorite record, and it instantly you have all those wonderful memories coming back that's associated with
Yeah.
that record. Just by hearing that record, it lifts your spirits so much, and it lifts you, and you know, you take on that higher vibration just by listening to that one song.
We just love doing the show. I have no idea how many people listen, but we're not bothered because we have and it's for 2 hours, isn't it, Jane? Every Monday night. We just have a great 2 hours, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, Kathy says, when is your meditation, Jane?
Yeah, I'm going to try and bring it back on Sunday. It used to be on a Tuesday evening, but now it's going to be on a Sunday. So we're going to try and bring it back for then.
Yep. Caroline says, where can I get your podcast? The podcast, it's on a platform called Spreaker, but I always share it onto our pages anyway. So at 9 o'clock, you go onto my page or Haunted Antiques Facebook page, you'll be able to get it there. So it's all over the place, really. Wendy says, love that music.
Yeah.
I did actually give you a night, didn't I, Jane, to choose the songs?
Yeah.
And they were okay. Apart from ABBA.
Well, you see, even ABBA has some great, I think, motivational things in there. I say you can put some stuff on and just dance around. I love it.
Yeah. Voices in my head said, when will you be able to open the centre? I would love to visit. Maybe. We are allowed to open, I think it's 6 weeks on Saturday to the general, but it's only open to the members for the first couple of weeks. So June the 21st, I think it is, we're open completely. So it's not far away. I know it's been a long time, but it's not too far away now. So we're looking at May, June. So we're getting there. Obviously, if you want to visit on a Saturday, you have to book in a minute because we're having to limit how many people come in. There will be COVID restrictions in place, like sanitizing your hands and all this, and filling the disclaimer in and things like that. But we just want to make sure everyone's safe. Kathy says, definitely. I play the bagpipes. The kids run and hide. I would recommend it. I like that idea.
But it's a great thing to listen to music. I mean, that, you know, that could possibly be your own private meditation. If you've never meditated before, just find a soothing song that you really, really like and just sit and listen to that song for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, however long the song is, even a couple of minutes, and just start by just shutting everything out, you know, as in put yourself in a quiet room where you can't be disturbed and just try listening to some of your favorite music just for a couple of minutes, and you'll be surprised how much it lifts your spirits.
Yeah. Wendy says, what's wrong with ABBA?
ABBA's great to sing along
Kathy
to.
says, I like ABBA. Okay, I
Yeah.
will say it tends to be my choice of music. Jane likes it as well. However, if people request a band, I will play it.
Yeah, you can
No,
request songs.
I will play it because we've got a big database of songs, so no doubt I'll find something that you like.
Yeah. And that's
Um,
another healing thing, you know. If
yeah,
you sing in a positive way, just singing for 10 minutes a day
yeah,
can boost your system so much. By
yeah.
singing a happy song or a favorite song or dancing around, you know, singing for 10 minutes a happy song can just boost your mood so
Of course it
much.
does. Of course it can. Voices in my head. I wish I knew your name because it sounds funny. Keep saying voices in my head. We have waited this long. I know you will have a backlog of folk waiting. I will stand by for the news of your opening. Woohoo! Yeah.
Woohoo.
Everyone that follows Haunted Antiques, you'll be sick of it. When we're getting near to opening, you'll be sick of the post because I'm gonna make sure everyone knows. And don't forget, we do have a live feed, a little bit different to the normal, next Thursday, which is the 15th of April. It's not a chat show. It's an investigation. And this lady is gonna try and she comes across as a nice, peaceful lady, but she's got a bit of a devilish side to her.
Only a little.
Yeah, a week on Thursday. It's a live feed and it's on our YouTube channel. And we are going to Jane. Well, Jane is going to try and summon Valak, the demon that's been made infamous by the Conjuring film and the Nun film. So we'll see if he turns up.
Yeah, you don't seem like a bad guy to me. I think it's all Hollywood hype.
We've got our own theories on demons, and we're going to challenge the myths and stories about them from forever, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. Since God kicked them all out of heaven.
Yeah. Wendy says, my dogs love me singing. Kathy says, my singing is worse than the bagpipes. The thing is, though, if you enjoy it, it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
If you enjoy singing the way to your favourite songs, it doesn't matter how you sound.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
I mean, I find this when I'm just listening to the radio sort of through the day or whatever, and a song comes on, because I always listen to Heart Radio because I like the old sort of songs. But when I find a song, or when a song comes on that triggers those memories, like a school disco, or, you know, a holiday somewhere, or, you know, a song that triggers really, really happy memories, or a real fun time that you had with your friends, then I think they're the best sort of songs, because you can't ever take that away. You can't ever dismiss that. And sometimes when you've not heard that song for years and years and years, and all of a sudden it comes on and it triggers all those happy memories, then I think we should be doing more of that. I think we should be going back and listening to more of these songs that triggered all these happy memories and thoughts.
Which happened last night, didn't it? I played Suzi Quatro single.
Oh yeah.
Devilgate Drive, and that immediately took me straight back to watching Suzi Quatro on Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
And
it took me back to the school disco.
It was fun. Okay then. Kathy says, according to my kids, it does. My daughter was 3 when she first asked me to stop making that horrible noise. Yeah, you'll have to do it when they're not there then, Kathy. Just have fun. The main thing in life is to have fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wendy says, too right, Jane. Yeah. Go back to your childhood. Obviously, if your childhood memories.
Yeah.
To be pure.
Go back to the happy times. We seem to so easily dwell on the bad stuff and to only remember the bad stuff. But I think if we dwelled, you know, if we dwelled on the good stuff and we remembered all the good stuff, all the happy, fun times, we would society would be so much happier. I think there'd be lots less stress and anxiety and everything else.
Yeah,
Mental
definitely.
health issues would be, it'd be down because people would be operating on a higher vibration because they're happy.
Yeah, definitely. Kathy says, I love playing music on investigations. It can really get things going.
Yeah.
Definitely. I remember a few months ago now, before the second lockdown, we got a war room at the centre, and we were talking to the spirit. Obviously, Jane wasn't there because you've not been up for, apart from last week, you've not been up for a long time. We played some happy 40s music, and we were using the writing planchette. It was as if the writing planchette was dancing. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think this will be the last comment tonight. Wendy says positive thoughts, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's gone 10 o'clock. That's another good show, I think. Talking to some lovely people who are watching.
Yeah, lovely
so
show.
That's us for this week. Like I say, Jane and I are back with our podcast on Monday night, 9 till 11. Please tune in. If you want us to play some music of your choice, I will do, even if it is ABBA. I don't mind. But we tell some spooky stories. If you got spooky stories, send them in to me and we'll read them out. And we pick on an item at the centre, don't we, and review that. And we just have 2 hours of good fun. And then
it is good.
Next Tuesday on this show, we have got Karen Dahlman on.
Oh, lovely. It's her birthday today, wasn't it?
Yeah. Karen will be talking all Ouija boards. So if you've got questions on Ouija boards, Karen altered my opinion on Ouija boards, I must admit, when we first spoke to her.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
we did
Tuesday.
meet her at Sage, didn't we? We did meet her at Sage. And she's a lovely lady, lovely to talk to, very pleasant.
Yeah. And very knowledgeable. And of course, that leads us onto next Thursday night, where we will be trying to talk to Valak to see what happens, and that will be live, so you can watch. Yeah. You can be our extra ears and eyes next Tuesday. Kathy just says, "I love using boards." Yeah, so do we.
Yeah.
So, and that's it for tonight. So, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for all the comments and questions. It's been great interacting with everybody. So we'll see you next week.
Yes, we will. So take care, everybody, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.